Hi! I'm docile. I'm quiet. I'm a quiet person. I'm really fucking quiet right now. I'm so quiet and docile.
Why don't you smile? Why don't you smile? How about smiling? How about smiling and being expressive? Being expressive!
Why don't you smile? Why don't you smile? How about smiling? How about smiling and being expressive? Being expressive!
So this is my long-awaited social anxiety video, and I thought I'd start it out with a bang. Because people have an impression of me under certain conditions and certain situations of how I am. And while I shouldn't give a shit about what people think, it definitely, I'm coming out of the closet, so to speak. Not in that way, but in a different way. So what is wrong? What has happened? What is the problem? What is the situation? Well, I was diagnosed probably about 9 or 10 years ago with social anxiety disorder. Something that I probably suffered through all my life. And I guess this is a serious video, but of course there are going to be funny moments because that's just the style that I like. Social anxiety disorder is probably very misunderstood by people because there are so many different situations that people do have social anxiety in, and certain people have different types of social anxiety. And that's one thing that's kind of a conundrum to me, is that I could do videos like this or do other things and then compartmentalize different parts of my life where I have social anxiety and I don't. But I don't really understand 100% of social anxiety or mental, I hate to use the word disorder, but it is a disorder. So it is diagnosed, and by psychiatrists or psychologists there are therapies that can be done. And probably the most horrible thing about social anxiety for me is that it's probably been, other than a few other things, the biggest detriment to my life. Now, a lot of people will think of social anxiety and think, oh my god, well, just man up. Ugh. You know, that it's not like that. I mean, a person could be addicted to drugs or have other mental illness. Schizophrenic, for example, you know, or something like that. It's not something that someone could just snap out of like that. So it's something that people struggle with their whole lives. And I'm one of those people. So it affects everything. It's affected my jobs, my scholarly interests, even my romantic life, obviously. I've actually been very lucky with that because I've done remarkably well for a person with social anxiety, because a lot of people, not saying that a lot, majority of people, but a lot of people have a lot of troubles, probably gone through a lot of the stuff as I am, and have had worse romantic lives than I have. Same with social life. I have a lot of good friends, and I do a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of activities that I partake in. But I happen to have this problem. And one of the biggest parts, one of the most frustrating aspects of social anxiety is definitely people misunderstanding you and thinking that you're just pissed off all the time. Well, I am pissed off a lot of the time. Can't express yourself in certain situations, and just they think of me as quiet when, as a matter of fact, I'm on all the time. My brain is always constantly running. It has always affected things. People have said over the years, just have said all sorts of shit, whether it be bosses or whatever. Oh, he's a quiet guy. It's like a fucking just pisses me off because I'm not really that quiet. This one girl said once, I'm shy but loud, she in reference to me. And I think that's somewhat true because I have certain things I could be very expressive about, but then at the same time, social anxiety is an impediment. So the biggest problem with social anxiety is explaining it to people as actually a mental disorder. But the second, or probably the biggest problem, is being misunderstood. So I could think of a day, an ordinary day where I just have social anxiety. Somehow my neurotransmitters were fucked at an early age by whatever happened, being teased as a kid, maybe partially, maybe parents' divorce, parents, whatever, upbringing, surroundings, I don't know. But something triggered that. I can actually recall a moment in my childhood in 5th grade where there was this, we had this, I think it was 4th grade actually, we had this kind of teacher who went to India and he was really cool. And we had this bazaar. It was like a bazaar, like not a carnival, but like where you buy stuff, like a market in the Middle East or in India or whatever. Shit, I forgot what a bazaar meant. I'm sorry. I'm kind of unprepared for this. But we had a bazaar. It was like a market. And these kids, I actually went up to these kids and tried to talk to them. And maybe I was a little rambunctious or something. But they basically told me that they don't like me. Go away. And I was told that as a kid quite a bit. And in certain situations where people would say I'm only their rainy day friend. This one guy, I was picked on, 6th grade. Not 6th grade, but actually, like 3rd and 4th grade by certain bullies, and then 8th grade was probably the worst. Plus, I had a mullet back then, and that wasn't cool. I was fat, and I had a big double chin. Whether it be a little, chunk that I have now that I'm getting rid of quickly. So it was a very disturbing trend in my life where I was picked on by people, and then I would pick on others too, because that happens with a lot of kids that are picked on. They pick on others, including some people that I know today. I made friends that I would pick on, and then I'd become their friend. It was just a really fucked up cycle. So of course this was a bad moment because the social anxiety and depression in the teenage years was even worse. So, and there's something called selective mutism, and I don't know if I had it, but in freshman year of high school, I would just not talk at all. I would not talk to anybody until I met my friend Mike. For some reason, I talked to him, and I don't know what exactly the situation was. I started talking to more people, but there was always something missing. One of the things that's still missing a lot of the time is I have very hard time with rapport with people and trying to ask them questions and saying their name and shit like that. And I don't know where this comes from. I think it's part of my upbringing, growing up the way I did. I'm not blaming my parents. They did the best they could. Well, they didn't. And if they don't like, actually more, I have a lot of respect for certain, they didn't always do the best. I'll just say that. And I don't care if they're offended by that. But I don't think they did the best always. So, but, so that was part of it. Another thing was, I'm trying to remember. So, no, that's part of the social anxiety. So, and I still have very big parts of my life where I get really paranoid. And a lot of that even manifests in relationships because it's like, I don't want to, or not relationships, but just even friendships or something. Not people that I have are really comfortable with, but usually people that I'm just getting to know or something. I'm just really, I don't know. It's just I have a lot of troubles. It's in certain situations more than others where I just get paranoid. I'm just like, holy shit, Oh, what's going to happen if they think this or what they say that? So, and in relationships, it's fucking terrible because whether or not it's related to anything else, I just I just get really weird. Like I guess I freeze up in certain situations. I have been lucky to have the relationships I've had, like I said, with this kind of thing, but it's very hard. And of course, meeting the opposite sex is very hard when you have social anxiety, regardless of the ways that I, try to go out sometimes with other guys and meet girls once in a while. Haven't done that much lately, but I'm about to get more into that. So, for certain reasons, but, well, never mind. People probably, anyways. So, that's basically I don't know how many videos I'm going to do in this series, if this is going to be a series or what, but social anxiety has really affected my life. It's really sucks, and people just misunderstand. When I do something in social situations, it's because of the social anxiety. It's not because I hate them, or I am an arrogant asshole, but and shyness is not even, I don't even like the word shy. That's one of the things that bothers me about it, because I'm not really shy when it comes down to it. I like to really express myself in the relationships I have, and it's not like I'm some dork that doesn't know how to. This is one of the things about relationships. It's like, and I'm not trying to boast on this, but like with other people that are really shy, or people that have super social anxiety or depression or whatever, if I get the signal, I'm good to go. But I have to be at a certain level of comfort before I get to that level. So I guess I consider myself a pretty aggressively masculine guy when it comes to relationships. In certain aspects of it, I can really go. I don't know if that makes any sense, but without getting into the word or obscene. So I guess that's the social anxiety video part 1. I may do a part 2. That's how it's affected my life, and it fucking sucks. It sucks that people don't understand it. It sucks that it's misunderstood by people. And it sucks that people don't know that I have it when it's actually affecting my day-to-day life with people, like whether people be people at work sometimes that I want to get to know more, or with people, in everyday situations at the gym or whatever. I don't know. So, and it's very unbalanced the way that my social anxiety manifests itself, which is something that bothers me, but it still is social anxiety, and it sucks. But I've gotten over a lot of it, probably a big majority, not a majority of it, but at least 60% of it, among other things. So, and it sucks that family members sometimes don't understand it. They're like, just go around shaking people's hands. You're so mean. Fuck you. But, anyways, I'm referencing certain people, and if they're offended, that's fine. I just get really mad when people don't understand stuff like that. It just makes me really think like you just don't get it, do you? Or, so maybe it was certain things I wasn't made to do as a young child. Whatever. It's still having an effect on me today. And it's going to have an effect because the lifelong thing is going to be a struggle. I'm not saying that I won't ever get like 1,000% better than I am now, because I've already gotten 1,000% of where I was. But that's basically all for social anxiety. This is probably the longest video I've done, but I might be doing more videos as time goes on. And that's all.